Alright, so a couple of you wanted to know how to play a super chill jam sesh version of Seven Nation Army that I just posted with Allie, so definitely check that version out, which I will link you below to if you haven't yet. But I thought I'd do a real quick lesson on it because it's super simple, it's really easy, and you can kind of apply this stuff to a bunch of different songs if you want to maybe start taking popular songs and maybe kind of reinterpreting them yourself. So basically one of the great riffs of all time, it starts off, the real way to play it would be like, which is really just all, you can do it all on the A string if you want. Start on 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. But if you're a true boss, you know what the notes are, and it's E, E, G, E, D, C, B, okay? And that is kind of important because if you were to kind of like populate a scale with a lot of those notes and then kind of incorporate the tonal center of the song, because it starts on this E, which would be an E minor, you'd be in the key of E minor or the key of G major, really honing in on this E. So what I was doing, and it's not like I was doing anything really spectacular, was just kind of taking this E minor bar chord. The 7th fret on the A string is my root. There's my root E. Make it a power chord, so 9D, 9G, and 8B. You can get the 7th fret on the high string in there if you want, not even necessary. And also, too, if you saw the other lesson, which I'll link you to, about how to make easy and awesome guitar chords in the key of G, or anything where the open strings help you out, you can actually kind of add some of these open strings to help you out. So if I play it like this, all I have is a bar chord E, the open G string, middle finger on the B string, and open E string. Okay? Now, you can do it either, and if you see the video, I'm kind of going back and forth between these two, depending on how fatigued my hand is from bar chords. And what we're doing is I'm taking this E minor chord, straight up bar chord style, or open, and then incorporating the notes from the riff. But instead of playing it, I'm kind of playing it in a scale position where I've got E, E, G, E, D, C, B. So that's kind of the scale right here. So I'm taking all those notes and I'm going to start adding it to this chord. And essentially what I'm going to be doing is making new chords along the way. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about maybe just changing like the root note of the chord I have. So I've got this E. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of working around through that riff and then kind of adding them on top of this E minor chord. So the first time I have, so I'm also kind of swinging it a little bit to kind of make it different. And then when I get to the C, I'm going to change the chord into a C major 7 chord. And that's the only other real chord I use in that part. And then I'm going to back it up to the 7th fret on the E string, which is a B. But if you notice, I still have that same E minor chord. I'm just playing an inversion where the lowest note isn't the root note. And I'm grabbing the octave of the 5th of E, which is a B, and kind of making it one B-centric E minor chord. I suppose you could look at it as. So E, C major 7, inversion. You can open it up. A lot of times I'll palm mute it. So those little techniques about maybe playing it straight bar chord style one way, opening it up another way, and then palm muting it kind of aggressively, makes what normally would be, I think, a repetitive riff if played acoustic. Not to say that the riff is repetitive because the song is like one of the great songs of all time. But if I were to play it just this whole way over the verse, it would kind of get a little bit boring throughout the course of the song. So that's how you can use techniques to kind of spice something like that up, just to kind of keep it fresh. Now the only other thing I do is for the other part of the song, which is a G major chord. Well, it's actually a power chord in the song. To an A. I'm just playing G major to A major, but with the B and the E strings open. Back to the Sometimes you can bar it, sometimes you can open it. Just a couple different tricks to kind of maybe make it a little more interesting. So if you have any ambitions to maybe start doing covers of really popular songs, but you wanted to kind of put your own spin on them, just think of what the main part of the song is. And again, to me, that riff screams E minor. I just hear that E minor chord over the... And then just kind of start adding the notes that have something to do with like the style or the flavor of the song. Try to add them over the chord to make new chords. But don't even think of them as new chords. Think of them as like inflections of an existing chord. Again, that's just the way I do it. I'm not saying this is the right way or the wrong way. I think it turned out pretty cool. I appreciate the feedback that a lot of you guys have been giving me on it. And definitely if you have any more questions, please hit me up in the comment section, Instagram or Twitter or the website, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot.